What's up, guys? After using the Edge Pro and the Wicked Edge both extensively, I think I'm ready to give my final judgment on both machines and finally make a choice between the two, which one I prefer the most, or which one I prefer and like the most. Before I give my final judgment, I'll just go ahead and list the pros of each system. I'm not going to list the cons because the pros of both systems, you can just kind of pick out the cons just by seeing the pros. So I will go ahead and list that now. Before I get started, I want to say that both systems are great. They can both yield amazing results. For me, they both take about the same time. The Edge Pro can be very, very time consuming depending on how accurate you want to be. And the Wicked Edge can be very, very time consuming just depending on a few factors. So they both take about the same time for me, and I'm not going to really list time as a pro or con for either due to that, and just due to the fact that time of sharpening varies so wildly from person to person, knife to knife, and system to system. So both systems are great. If you own the Edge Pro, please don't let me make it seem like the Edge Pro is a terrible system, because I own it. I've used it for a couple years now. Probably will never get rid of it. I still love the Edge Pro. Again, if I talk good about the Edge Pro, don't feel like the Wicked Edge is an inferior system. I'm going to get to all that later, which I prefer. But this video isn't to bash one system and praise the other. It's just to show the strengths of both systems and just give my final judgment of which one I prefer. You may prefer a different one than me, and that's the beauty of it. We all have free will. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I guess I'll just run down the list with both of them. The Edge Pro, one of the things it can do that the Wicked Edge cannot do is a lower angle. You're kind of limited right now with the Wicked Edge to 15 degrees on each side. In the future, in the near future, Clay is coming out with a new extender piece that will raise the blade up in the clamp and allow you to get even lower angles. So you're kind of limited there right now. So the Edge Pro does win in that aspect. You can get lower angles in that. Edge Pro does have tons of stone options. It's been on the market many more years than the Wicked Edge. So naturally there's going to be more options for the Edge Pro. There's more stone options. Generally the stones are cheaper for the Edge Pro. So that's it wins over the Wicked Edge in that aspect. Price, it kind of goes along with the stones. It's just cheaper than the Wicked Edge. The system is cheaper. The stones are cheaper. It's just overall more affordable than the Wicked Edge. If you're looking for a super high polish, and just granted that both systems are bone stock, the Edge Pro is going to give you a higher polish with the stock stones. Even with the Pro Pack with the 800 and 1000 grit stones and the 5 and 3.5 micron strops, you're not going to get the super mirror polish that the Edge Pro can give up to the 6000 grit tapes. It wins in that aspect. And versatility is one that I honestly debated putting on both of these, but if you just think about the sheer size of knives you can do with the Edge Pro, from the teeniest, tiniest little blades all the way up to the biggest blades. I've done the little blades on a Case Peanut all the way up to an Essie Hunglis, Junglis, whatever you want to call it, on the Edge Pro. Really, it's not that much different doing a huge blade or a small blade. With a Wicked Edge, I don't yet know how it's going to be with doing massive blades. You are limited in your range with a Wicked Edge. You're not going to be able to reach way out, so you might have to loosen the clamp and pull the blade back and then reclamp it and do the front portion. With the Edge Pro, you can just do the back and then gradually pull the blade through and do the whole thing. So it does win in versatility for me right now. That may change in the future. Now, as you can see, the Wicked Edge has many more pros that I could think of than the Edge Pro. That should give you a hint already. Uh, I have a star by clamp system because this is, in my opinion, one of the shining stars of the Wicked Edge. You are able to clamp the blade down and totally remove human variation from the equation. That's my main gripe with the Edge Pro, is that you're relying on your hand to keep the blade steady on the table the whole time. And honestly, it can become very exhausting. When I used to do customer knives and I would do 5 knives in a row and spend 3 or 4 hours sharpening, I would be literally physically and mentally exhausted by the time I was done, because it just takes so much concentration to keep the blade in the exact same spot the whole time. And also, you're doing one side and having to flip it and do this side, flip it and do that side, flip it. It just takes a lot of concentration to put it back in the exact same spot every time. So the clamping system of the Wicked Edge is a shining star in my opinion. Results and overall sharpness, I get more consistent results and a sharper edge every single time with the Wicked Edge. The Edge Pro, maybe 1 in every 6 or 7 edges was hair whittling straight off the machine. 100% of the time since I've gotten good with the Wicked Edge, 100% of the time my edges whittle hair right off the machine, 100% of the time. With the Edge Pro, you can get so much variation in your results. You can get a super screaming sharp hair whittling edge, or you can get an edge that's honestly mediocre, even though you ran through the whole gamut of the grits, just depending on how easily you can keep the blade steady on the table. With some blades with a funky grind, it's honestly extremely difficult to keep the blade on the table consistently. The Bug Vantage Pro was one that I had real trouble with. It's just hard to do unless you want to compensate for the grind and lay it on the primary grind itself. So results and sharpness, the Wicked Edge wins hands down. I get more consistent results and sharper edges every single time. Repeatability is another shining star of the Wicked Edge system. You can take down your results or your data with a Wicked Edge, as you see me doing here. You just write down the knife, you write down what slot you put it in, what section of the little ruler thing that comes with it. you line the tip of the blade with a little ruler that you stick in the clamp, and that tells you how far forward you have the blade. And say this is the clamp, that lets you repeat how far in or out you had the blade in the clamp. So you mark down that, and then you mark down your angle. And with these 3 data points, you can repeat the same exact spot in the clamp every single time. The repeatability of the Wicked Edge is not rivaled by any other machine that I know of. It's just easy, super easy to repeat the exact same spot in the clamp. You don't have to use any water at all with the stones, and you don't have to flatten the stones. That's one thing that I could not stand with the Edge Pro. The fact that I had to use water. The water would bring the slurry up and get it all over the blade. So say I was doing a customer knife, I would have to tape the whole blade, and only have the edge showing. Otherwise, the slurry would get under the blade and end up scratching it. Just taping the blade would take me 20 minutes sometimes because I had to do it perfectly. And I had to do it evenly on both sides, otherwise your angle would be screwed up from one side to the other. So it was very, very nerve-wracking sharpening a customer's knife on the Edge Pro, just due to the fact that it's so easy to scratch your blade. With the Wicked Edge, you really don't have that problem. You don't have to use water, so there's no slurry dripping down on your blade. And you don't have to flatten the stones, meaning your angle stays consistent from the very first day you use the stone to the very last day you use it. One big thing I like about the Wicked Edge is fixed stropping. You could put, say you've sharpened a knife on the Wicked Edge and you've used it a little bit and you want to strop it back to sharpness. Well, you can just take your 3 data points that I showed you just a minute ago and repeat the spot that you put the knife in the clamp, and then strop your edge and have it right back to sharpness. So there's really no human variation in it. You can just put the knife right back in the clamp where it was, strop the edge, and then you have a sharp edge again. So that's one good thing I like about the Wicked Edge. With the Edge Pro, touch-ups were very difficult, very, very difficult. And you really can't strop with the Edge Pro with any efficiency. I've played around with a leather strop for the Edge Pro that Mark Richmond at Chef Knives to Go sent me, and I'm going to do a review on that soon. But I just don't like stropping on the Edge Pro. Touch-ups, this kind of goes together. It kind of should have been a slash mark, and these two should have been together. Touch-ups, like I said, you can repeat the spot that you had the blade and the clamp, and you can do your touch-ups with ease. You can just go back to whatever grit you think necessary to bring the edge back. So if it's really damaged, you can go back down to 600 grit. If it just needs a light touch-up, go to the 1000 grit and then strop after that. Touch-ups are a breeze. Precise angle adjustments are something that I really like about the Wicked Edge. You have angles from 15 all the way to 35, I think. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, you have 15 all the way to 30 something or 40, and every angle in between. So you have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You get the point. It goes by 1 degree all the way up through the scale. With a Wicked Edge, you have 15, 18, 21, 24, and the stuff in between is just kind of guesswork. So you have really precise angle adjustments with the Wicked Edge. Constant stone thickness is something I hit on up here. Like I said, the stone is going to be the same thickness from day one to the last day you use it. Unlike the Edge Pro, where the stones are never the same flatness after the very first knife you sharpen. So they're only the same thickness right when you pull them out of the package. From the first day on, the stones are going to vary in thickness, and you're going to have to adjust for that and worry about flattening the stones. It's just a big hassle. I don't like doing it. Build quality. The Edge Pro is built extremely well. I've had mine for a couple years. Like I said, I have not babied it. I've had absolutely no problem with it at all. But if you're just going on materials alone, the Wicked Edge wins in terms of build quality. The Edge Pro is predominantly plastic. The Wicked Edge is steel and aluminum. Metal parts will outlast plastic parts in most cases. There are probably some exceptions, but in something like this, you would really assume metal to outlast plastic. But I do want to repeat that I've never had any problem with the Wicked Edge or the Edge Pro whatsoever. The plastic is very resilient. Never even thought I would have a problem. With all this said, people ask me all the time, which do I prefer? I'm going to have to go with a Wicked Edge. I'm the type of person that likes to have the repeatability. I like to have the clamp system. I just like the overall results I get with the Wicked Edge much better than the Edge Pro. With the Edge Pro, no matter how much I concentrated, you just never really knew if the results were going to be excellent at the end of it. And it's really disappointing to spend an hour on an edge with the Edge Pro only to find out that it's not that sharp at the end. With the Wicked Edge, it's sharp every single time, and it's sharp from heel to tip every single time. For me, that's going to make it win hands down. It's this right here that really, really wins it for me. These three things right there are pretty much the main reason I love the Wicked Edge system so much. It's not to say that the Wicked Edge is perfect, because it's not. Neither systems are perfect. But if you're the type that just wants ridiculously sharp edges and you want to be able to repeat those results over and over again, then you're probably going to want the Wicked Edge. It is pricey, and I hate that. I do hate that it's pricey. But I'm sure there's a reason it's pricey. I'm not going to justify the price. I don't even really want to talk about the price a lot. It is what it is. Both systems are fairly expensive, but the Wicked Edge is more expensive. But it does it does perform better than the Edge Pro in my opinion. I will never get rid of my Edge Pro. I will still continue to use my Edge Pro in certain circumstances, but the majority of my sharpening is going to be done with the Wicked Edge from now on. If you have an Edge Pro, then please don't feel like your system is inferior after this video, because it's not. I was happy with my Edge Pro for years before I even touched the Wicked Edge. But there's just something about it that for me works better than the Edge Pro. For you, your results may be totally different, and the Wicked Edge may not work for you at all. But I can't really say that because I don't know. There's no way for me to know. But as of right now, I do much prefer the Wicked Edge. It's just easier and I get better results. So there's a lot of this question going around, Edge Pro versus Wicked Edge. So hopefully this helps you guys. Forgot what I was about to say. Anyway, I hope it helps. Let me know if I didn't answer a question you had, and I will make sure to make a video on that and answer your question. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.